we're back here at NAB 2019, live direct from the show floor, the first place you will see all the latest and greatest techniques, toys, trips, and services. And we're here with Janelle Jordan from ProductionHUB. Now, ProductionHUB, as far as I know, is a service where if you are looking for crew, or if you are crew and you're looking for a job, you know, it's just a better way of getting jobs than looking on Craigslist or that sort of thing, but that's my minuscule view of what I think ProductionHUB is. Am I close? Do I have that right, or why don't you tell me in your own words?
Yeah, you are correct. Yeah, we are an online marketing and advertising platform. So anybody from a makeup artist to video production company, advertisers like Canon or Panasonic, etc., market and advertise on our site. So you can be found there. And then you can also find crew as well using our services. So whether you place a free request with us or you work through myself as a production manager, we recommend vendors and have a crewing service as well.
So when I've used ProductionHUB before, I've done it, I think, the freeway. I hate to say that, sorry. But we've put a job posting up there. Hey, we need 3 camera operators for this and this job. Here's the budget and what have you. And that's mostly because in the sort of level of work we're doing, it's usually just a few people for a day or two. It's not that specialized. If someone's got a more complicated project where they're crewing a film or crewing a large commercial or something like that, how do production managers like yourself help out the producer?
Sure. So my job is glorified middleman, essentially. So I take the guesswork and really kind of, specialize, filter down the most, recommended and qualified crew. So you don't have to search for hours on the site or multiple sites. We're really a one-stop shop to find anybody that you need. We've crewed whole feature films, large productions as well. So from G&E trucks to anybody you need, really, you can find them on ProductionHUB.
How big does a production need to be where you would say, okay, you should have a production manager, one of us, working on there?
So it can be a one-man band, ask, but if you're from, Seattle and you've got to shoot in Dallas and you don't know who to use, even if it is a single camera operator, or a 2-man crew, camera op and audio op, we can help you find that person. It's a little daunting sometimes to even place a free request sometimes. It's a great service if you kind of like to filter down. But if you really just are looking for recommendations, you can use us for something as small as that as well.
What about things like reviews and testimonials? Do folks have that? I mean, is that on your site so that if I want to hire a camera guy, I can sort of see what their rating is, like an Uber driver?
Sure.
I can say, oh, that guy's 4.7, I'll hire him. Oh, right. 3.8, I'm staying away from that guy. Do you have that sort of thing?
So on the back end of our system, we do. So we make internal notes so we know, hey, that guy was really great. This person, not so much. That kind of a thing. But on our profiles themselves, we do have a feature where you can ask someone that you've worked with to make recommendations on your site, so they can write a little blurb on you saying how great it was to work with you. And we do have a vendor rating system for our buyers, the folks who place free requests with us, where they can make notes and they can give their feedback as well.
Fantastic. So if you are someone who I've always looked at it from the buyer's end. I've been looking to hire folks. But if you're looking at it from a crew perspective, what advice would you give to someone who's a camera operator or that sort of thing, looking for work? What do they need? What sort of ducks do they need to have in a row, before coming to ProductionHUB and putting those items on there?
Sure. So, I definitely recommend a profile. Our basic profiles, even for those, just starting out, whether you're a college student just looking to break in, we have basic profiles for $5.99 a month. It's literally less than a McDonald's meal. So,
You obviously haven't seen me when I go to McDonald's, but that's beside the point.
So, it starts there and it kind of builds from there. All of our, pretty much our lowest featured profile is $699. It's almost less, or equal to one job. And that's for a year. That's a year of advertising.
Okay.
So,
So a featured profile is you're featuring, this is for a crew person.
Correct.
And they want to be featured, so it's advertising for them. And what does their $700 a year get them?
So it gets you, and it scales depending on how many different categories you want to be in. That accounts for 6 total. You get free crew leads directly to your email that you can respond to for people such as yourself that place our free requests. If as a featured profile member, those are the folks who I look to as a production manager first for those crewing jobs. Usually they're a little bit more serious, a little bit more seasoned, so that's who I recommend.
Yeah, and I don't want to speak bad of anyone, but it's true. If you're going to spend, if you are your own business, you're a camera operator or a mic operator or a makeup operator, you've got to advertise, you've got to market yourself just like any business would market. And if you've got someone who's got a free account versus someone who is investing, and you notice I said investing, $700 there for that year of advertising, you're pretty sure that guy isn't just like a fly-by-night person.
Correct. I mean, and that's not to say we don't have some great basic profiles as well, but you just know they're a little bit more serious, like I said, a little bit more seasoned when they do make that investment.
So let me put you on the spot here. What would you say is like the strangest job that how long have you worked there, first of all?
I have worked at ProductionHUB for 2 years, but I've been a production manager for 16, so...
Well, so first of all, let me ask you, how do you find that different? Is it different at ProductionHUB than the traditional way you used to do it?
No, not terribly, honestly. It's the same, it's just more online. I go out into the field less, which is not necessarily a bad thing because I get to sleep, but no, it's pretty much one for one.
So what is, getting back to my other question, what is the strangest production that you so far in your tenure have had to manage?
At ProductionHUB or in general?
Yes.
So I worked for almost 10 years on a television production called Forensic Files as a producer production manager. So as you can imagine, if you've ever seen that show, it's about true crime. There's a lot of strange things that I had to find there, whether it was a very specific car or a fake body part or something like that. So that was always interesting, to say the least.
And what about requests you get in from ProductionHUB? What's the oddest thing you've seen?
It's really, it's very straightforward. I can't, there's nothing that has been that off the wall. And if it is really out there, then maybe we don't put it live. We've had some alternative filming resources, adult, style things that maybe get asked for, and that's not quite not knocking it.
That's a whole different podcast, quite frankly, Janelle.
Situation.
That's not us. I can come back with the other crew and talk about that later, but we can't talk about that on this one.
Exactly, yes. So, same.
Janelle, I want to thank you for giving us that little bit of a spotlight into what you do there at ProductionHUB, and thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And that's all the time we have left in this segment, but we'll be back with many more interviews later on, so please stay with us right here on Live Now.